Hey guys, it's Ballistic Phoenix here with Chinger Gaming, and I'm bringing you the sequel to Welcome to Warframe. Now in this video, I'll be doing an overview of the skills of Excalibur, one of the starting Warframes. I'll be showing off all 4 of his abilities, and explaining what they do and how they're used. You'll hear me mention some mods, and in one of my later videos I'll go over them. What they are, they're modifiers for your character that change overall health, armor, energy, shielding, and actually alter the abilities as well. So, pretty much, I'll be showing some gameplay, and I hope you enjoy, and then in the comment section below, let me know what you think about Excalibur. Well, like if you like, tell me in the comments if you dislike, make sure you subscribe so we can get to that next giveaway, and definitely let me know what you think about Warframe. I would love to see more people playing. I love the community. If you ever get it and you want to play, definitely send me an invite. I'm definitely game. So, here we go. So here we are getting started, and one of the Grineer missions. Grineer is a faction of enemy in the game, and this is their ship template. You'll see this a lot. They don't always look the same. It's kind of like a labyrinth. They get mixed up. But these are one of the enemy types you'll be going up against. And for the purpose of this video, you know, it's a low-level, low-ranking mission. I'm using all the starter gear that you get from the prologue. You know, if you've watched a tutorial video, then you'll recognize it's the Paris bow, the bow staff, and the kunais. I don't have any mods on this build of Excalibur, so I'm going to have to farm for some energy to use the abilities. As you see in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll see your 4 abilities. When they're highlighted, those are abilities you can use based on your level and based on how much energy you have. And different abilities use energy differently. Some require a certain amount of energy points. Some burn energy over time. Some of them are constant. Some of them are one-time use. For Excalibur, all of his abilities burn energy in one use. It's like Slash Dash burns about 25 points of energy. And then his last ability is energy over time. So as you see, Slash Dash is good for taking on up to 3 opponents. You create an ethereal blade, and you can chain melee up to 3 enemies at one time in one use. Really useful if there's a group of enemies and you have a lot of energy, because you can use them back to back and cut through, you know, a horde of enemies.
Additional life support has arrived.
Now here I utilize Radio Blind, and just like the title says, it blinds enemies in a specific radius. There are mods that alter your abilities, you know, some will increase the range, but for the most part, without mods, it gets up to about 10 in-game feet. Don't quote me on that, but that's about the distance you get. And it temporarily stuns enemies and blinds them, leaving you enough time to get in some sneak attacks, maybe get into a strategic position, or, you know, if things are getting too hot, to get out of there quickly, you know, get a little bit of cover. That way you can try and retreat. It's really useful in groups of enemies because it's not limited to a number of enemies, just enemies within a specific range. So if you're playing as Excalibur and next thing you know you're overrun, Radio Blind is a great way to give yourself some, you know, relief and figure out how to get you know, through the enemies, or to figure out your situation. What's the best strategic approach to the situation you're in?
I've delivered another life support capsule. Life support activated. Life support incoming.
Now I'm just trying to farm for some energy right now, that way I can use the later abilities. Now this is Radial Javelin. And similar to the Radial Blind, within a specific radiance, within a specific area, you pierce the ground with an ethereal sword, and it fires out javelins that pierce nearby enemies. Now, it's not always a one-shot, but it is one of the stronger Warframe abilities for Excalibur. There are a limited amount of javelins that do appear. You can modify that with mod cards, which, you know, in one of the later Warframe videos I'll touch up on. But I believe it produces about 6 javelins, so you can pierce 6 enemies in one strike. It's useful if you're surrounded and you're trying to deal as much damage to nearby targets as possible, while temporarily stunning other targets and giving yourself some time to breathe. Now it's time for one of the coolest Warframe abilities, if you ask me, Exalted Blade. As you can see, I've summoned an ethereal blade made out of pure energy. With every slash, any nearby targets take physical damage from the sword, but there's also an energy wave that projects from the sword that deals massive damage and passes through textures. It'll pass through walls, it'll pass through cover, through barricades, and it damages enemies. That is Excalibur's ability that burns energy over time. There are a few mods you can do that'll, you know, basically change energy economy to where it doesn't absorb as much energy over time. Say it starts at absorbing 5 energy per second, you can mod the character to get it down to 1.5 energy per second. It's his most overpowered ability. A lot of people do builds completely surrounding that power, pure power efficiency builds, and they will stay in Exalted Blade for sometimes up to 20 minutes. Some pro players get even longer, and it does massive damage. While using Exalted Blade, it's pretty difficult to get knocked down. There are a few enemies that can knock you down anyway, with area effect abilities, but while spamming Exalted Blade, you're pretty much tanking it. It's going to be difficult for most enemies to come up against you, at least early game. So these are the 4 Warframe abilities for Excalibur.
You are running out of time. Consider extraction. Life support incoming. Critical life support levels. Extraction is your best option. Another job well executed.